Good evening, family and friends of Memorial High School students. We would like to welcome you to our parent evening affair where we are sharing with you many of the highlights of items that take place at Memorial High School during the course of our school day, both virtually and in person. We want to thank you for sharing your most valuable time with us and being available for us to share with you those highlights. We at Memorial High School are extremely proud of the many accomplishments that we have been most successful with. With that success is transposed to your students for the successes that they have been able to uh, be successful with. Through that means, we have had a number of individuals who have been specifically involved in the assessments, the reviews, the redefining many of the items that we were needing to re-examine. And that's in the likes of the administrative team for the English, language arts, and reading areas. First and foremost, we would like to have our close associate to our new vice president, Ms. Lois Como, is an AKA and is also is a member of this ELA team. And Ms. Como is the junior associate for the ELAR team. We followed. I went out of order as a means of identifying Ms. Como's association with the AKAs, but we would have Dr. the most honorable Dr. Brenda J. Coleman, who is a Delta, who is with our team as the sophomore leader of that team. So, Dr. Coleman. We then have our 12th grade person is Mr. Dwight Wagner, who is quite profound, has been around a long time. If we had time, we would certainly share with you one of the numbers that he would share with you and have many of the highlights that he is most acclaimed for. We do appreciate all that he does in the community for our teams. Last but not least is Mrs. Carla Stewart, who is also an AKA associated with our newly found vice president. Miss Stewart is our instructional coach for ELAR. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge all of the fine people that we had working in the ELAR areas. I'm saying that because in high schools across the country, ELAR seems to be one of the most challenging areas of all high school students. Even in schools where the challenges are not as great as the challenges that we may have, but it has certainly been an area for us that we have had to have a lot of attention given. And this fine team that we have at Memorial High School has certainly been more than willing to accept the challenge and work with many of the students to try to get them to another level. Many of our students are college bound. Many of our students are working towards getting certifications. And with all of the things that they do, this fine department that we have has certainly been the delivery agent to get us to this next level. We thank you so very much for listening. We thank you so very much for being with us. And we appreciate all that you do with allowing us to work with your fine students. Thank you so very much.
Hi, my name is Miss Potter. I teach AVID for the juniors and seniors. We're gearing up to get ready to go to college and be successful when we get there. I also teach strategic reading and writing. We're using Common Lit right now to practice our comprehension skills and to practice breaking down those assessment type questions. We've also begun pledging to read 120 minutes each week on Epic. It's a free ebook library, and so far, our students have already read 11 hours.
I'm Damari Domingo, and I teach reading 2 and 3 to juniors and seniors.
Hello, and I'd like to welcome all the parents to our first virtual meeting, parent teacher meeting. I'm Marilyn Brown, and I teach reading 1 through 4, dyslexia, and AVID 2, which is a college prep class. My main focus is on preparing students for the STAR, helping them to increase their reading comprehension as well as their fluency. And I use several resources in order to do that. ReadWorks, we have differentiated instruction, support such as audio and vocabulary, step reads, and Newsella is another resource that I use to incorporate current events into our day-to-day curriculum, as well as vocabulary. Um, I use educationworld.com to work in revising and editing lessons on a weekly basis. And we're really working hard to try to close that gap that we had from being out due to the COVID pandemic. So we're working on that, and I'm honored to be a part of this team. Thank you.
Hello, parents. My name is Carlicia Roberts. I am the English as a Second Language Department Leader here at Memorial High School. Additionally, my counterparts who are not with us this afternoon would be Mrs. Anna Barrientos and Mr. Jacob Hoover. English as a Second Language is a language instruction program that allows our English learners in our school to not only learn English development skills as well as master content. Thank you for allowing us to serve your students, and we look forward to speaking with you.
Hello, my name is Ms. Sherith Cobbs. I teach photojournalism, where I teach students how to use the camera. I teach journalism, where I teach them how to write. And I also teach yearbook, where they build upon those skills and they make the school yearbook. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ms. Gonzalez. I'm a 10th grade English 2. I teach both regular and pre-AP English. In the 10th grade right now, we are focusing on drama. We've done Antigone, we've done Macbeth. We're doing several other drama pieces and informational texts. We are working on it, helping your students increase their reading levels. We're working with accelerated readers. Each of your students should be reading a novel at home at this time. We do ask that you get involved with your students so that we can help your students be successful. Thank you for giving us charge of your students.
Hello, parents. Thank you for attending our parent meeting today. I'm Ms. Berry. I'm also a 10th grade English 2 reading teacher where the kids are preparing. We're working on drama, but we're also preparing to write essays right now. We're broken out into group sessions where the kids are having peer reviews of their paragraphs and how to write main ideas and supporting details so they can write the body paragraphs of their paper. I'm enjoying your children, and I look forward to you working with me as we continue to press forward. Happy New Year to everyone, if we haven't said that already. And I hope to see you soon.
Hello, welcome. My name is Shannon Freeman. I am the 10th grade English teacher here at Memorial High School. We're having a great year, even though it's a little bit different than normal. Even our meeting is different than normal, but it's okay. We're enjoying your kiddos and they're learning a lot. We're not only preparing them for school, but preparing them for their futures and their next steps. We're excited to talk about things like college essays and what they can expect when they get there. So we appreciate joining with you and partnering with you to encourage your kids to be successful and to move on to their next steps. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mr. Joseph Lejeune. I am an 11th grade English teacher, and alongside with the inclusion teacher, Coach Colquitt, we are working on poetry at this moment in our courses and teaching our students about American culture in the late 19th and early 20th century.
Hi, my name is Kendra Green. I teach English 3 along with AP English Language and Composition in preparation to take the College Board AP exam. I also teach on-ramps rhetoric with the University of Texas, which is a dual credit course where they receive high school and college credit.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, my name is Jessica Petrie, and I teach English 3 regular class along with the pre AP classes. We are working on poetry and also starting our writing segment of the class, teaching our students how to dig a little deeper into introduction paragraphs and conclusion. Um, I would say teaching our students how to make their essays flow all together, taking it to a higher level, which our students think they don't know how to write, but in actuality, some of them know how to write a little bit more than they actually believe. So right now, we're just trying to give them that extra push, that extra cushion, and words of encouragement, just to get them out there, um, to get them writing and going, so we can prepare them to go on to the senior level. Uh, and that's about it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Don Ball. I have the privilege of working with seniors who study English 4. We teach British literature, and one of my goals is to help the students to comprehend what they're reading and then to think critically about it. Once they understand it and know how to evaluate it, then they can also learn to write intelligently about what they've read. Those are the primary goals I have and the focus as I work with these amazing students.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Mitchell. I teach English 4 British literature, along with my inclusion coaches, Coach Rojas and Coach Lewis. For me, the biggest thing in my class is accountability. It's important that we hold our kids accountable for turning in their assignments diligently and being productive as it relates to moving forward. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Rhodes. I am the AP Advanced Placement English 4 teacher. I also teach debate and humanities. I've done this for a long time. So that being said, this new normal is a little harder than what we're used to. What I'm really particularly um, want you to know, parents, is that we need the procrastination and the fact that the kids do not get their assignments in on time sometimes is really a detriment to not just the kids' grades, but for our own, the teachers' aspect too, because we have to make up for that extra time. If they could learn to do time management, it would be so much easier for them in the long run and in college. So I just wanted to put that out there. Also, it really helps in in times of tragedy or in times of difference that we learn how to be kind to one another, and this is something that we really need to work on as well, not just with our own selves but with everyone. And I really appreciate you letting us teach your students, and you could go anywhere but you've chosen this, and we're really glad that you have, and we want to invite you to come and talk to us anytime. You have our email addresses, you have our phone numbers. And once again, I am Stephanie Rhodes. Thank you.
Okay, so what are the ELAR school-wide goals? So our goal by May 2021 is to increase the overall number of kids passing the English 1 and 2 EOC exams for this year up to 70%. This is our major priorities, to have the number of kids passing the STAR test. By 2021 May, we're expecting to hopefully have 60% of all the subgroups will meet grade level on the STAR EOC assessments for English 1 and English 2. Also by May, we expect or hoping to expect the increasing the number of students who hit master's grade level. That's mostly for our pre-AP students, but some of our regular students are very capable of hitting the master's level. So we're expecting to hopefully increase this by 5%. For the number of programs that we're using Apex Learning, um, Renaissance, which is accelerated reader, Our current textbook we're using is Study Sync, which you can find through the McGraw-Hill on the Schoology. We do use Schoology for our major program at this time for all classes. We use Khan Academy, Study Island. Many of our students are familiar with Study Island for a long time now, and Google Classroom. Some teachers are using Google Classroom at this time, Measuring Up, and we have recently added Brain Pop to our program. So all of these things are things that we are using for your students to help them be more successful and increase their productivity and learning capacity. So
This is our English language arts literacy focus. Our first one is academic oracy, which is proficiency in oral expression and comprehension. Our second is careful, authentic reading and reflective writing. And our third is building and increasing an academic vocabulary.
Our fourth focus is making emphasis and using evidence to support understanding. Fifth is write responses that demonstrate understanding of text, including comparing text within and across genres. Our sixth focus is plan a piece of writing appropriate for various purposes and audience by generating ideas through a range of strategies such as brainstorming, journaling, reading, or discussing. And our seventh focus is revision and editing writing.
What about curriculum and tests? Curriculum, instruction, and assessments reflect student learning. In a sample lesson, we refer to the essential knowledge and elements that we need to know. We have a reading focus. Students will always analyze the author's purpose and craft, character development, theme, making inferences, and textual connections. Students will identify major concepts, styles, and forms of fiction, modern and postmodern text. A writing focus, students will plan a personal response essay that showcases the writing process, develop focused, structured, and coherent writing in timed and open-ended situations. The students will compose a literary analysis with an engaging idea reflecting depth of thought with specific details, examples, and commentary.
They will also learn how to edit drafts to improve the clarity for the understanding of the intended audience. There's different audiences that you're writing for. If you're writing for the president of a company, is not the same as if you're writing to a friend. So they have to have all those nuances down. Okay, they have a grammar focus. Students will analyze the 8 parts of speech, identify the different types of sentences, and to include. This is something that they've known forever, but they tend to forget about it when it comes to their writing. Recognizing sentence fragments and run-on sentences, usage of punctuation marks, and recognizing common spelling errors. I give my seniors spelling tests. I mean, real spelling tests, because they can't. There's a lot of words that they really aren't so sure about, and we're spelling them wrong. But adults do that all the time, so it's just a good way to reflect on the fact that we need to really be cognizant of our spelling. Okay, academic vocabulary and elements of fiction. Um, I use vocabulary a lot, and I try to do different things with it. I'm sure everyone in the English department does. Sometimes I have them write sentences, original sentences, not the ones out of the dictionary. Other times I have them illustrate it. Sometimes we have them in group work. There's all different ways that they can do it. But the more, if they don't read as they should, then that's the only way that they can improve their vocabulary, thus leading to higher scores on all the tests they need to take. So that's a crucial part of the English program, is your vocabulary. Okay, let's see. Vocabulary, expository text, interpretive response. Okay, the highest order thinking skill is analysis. And in order to analyze something, that means you take it apart and you put it back together in a different way. So if you read something and, okay, I didn't understand that, so I'm going to take this part, and this is symbolism, and now I understand what it means, and you put it back together. That's the highest order thinking skill that we have, is analysis. So we want them to learn that way so they can analyze everything in life, not just what they read, but everything they do. Okay. The assessments, we have diagnostic assessments, ongoing formative assessments, CBAs, unit assessments, district CBAs, that's curriculum based assessments as to what we're teaching so that we can be on line with what needs to go on during which parts of school that we are in. So those are all the things that we want the students to know and to realize. And this is just part of what we do. Thank you.
Hello, Memorial High School parents. I'm Carla Stewart, and I am the instructional coach for the English Language Arts Department. My job duties vary from day to day, but my main responsibility is to help support our awesome, excellent English Language Arts teacher as they strive to educate not some of our children, but all of our children, because our belief is that all our children can learn. And as you heard our principal say earlier, that English language arts and reading is probably one of the, if not the most challenging discipline that we have. So we want to thank you for entrusting your students to us and to our educators. But you know, there is an old cliche, and it said that it does take the village to educate all our students. And that is so right. And that village includes our community. It includes our educators. It includes our students. And most importantly, that village includes you. So now I'm going to ask my assistant principal, Mr. Wagner, to share a little bit more about how you can help us educate your child so that they can compete on a global level in the United States of America and realize the American dream when it's their time.
Thank you, Ms. Stewart. Parents, we want you to know how much we appreciate you because you do play a huge role in your child's education. Don't leave your child's education just to us educators. And I want to reiterate what Ms. Stewart just said. We know that old adage about it takes a whole village to raise a child. Well, it takes a whole village to get your child to the finish line. Now, this is what you can do at home, even with your teenagers who think that they're grown, but you can still do this. Monitor their progress. We get progress reports every 3 weeks. Find out what they're making on those report cards. We don't want any surprises at the end of the grading period. Ask your students what they learned today. We used to do it in elementary. Ask them in high school, what'd you learn today? Ask them what's their favorite subject. Encourage them, maybe even to set a certain time at home for homework, a special place for it. Now, we know a lot of our teenagers are working, but still, when they're not working, find a time when they can study. For me, it would be a quiet place. I know with teenagers today, many of them like to listen to music while they study. But try to find a place somewhere at home where they can study that's just their little domain. Encourage them to read more. That's a major problem that we're having. Um, Encourage them to read books, to read magazines, to read newspapers, educational websites. But as for students who don't like to read, I always suggest for them to find something that they enjoy, whatever whatever subject in life that they like, even if it's sports, get Sports Illustrated. If they love entertainment, get People Magazine. They need to just get the patterns down, learning to read paragraphs, learning, and that's going to help them with their writing as well. So you can help us with that. And in so doing, we can be assured that your child will graduate on time. Thank you.
Parents, we know that you have many questions as it pertains to your child's education. Questions such as, how is my child doing academically in this class? But before we can answer that question, maybe these are some questions you should ask. Is my child making a strong effort? Does my child respond well to feedback on his or her work? Does my child give up on a hard problem? You may also ask, how is my child doing socially in this class? The questions we probably should ask would be, How well does this teacher's approach to discipline work for my child? When my child is feeling pressured, how easily can he or she stay in control? How comfortable is my child in asking for help from his or her peers? Another question you may have: what next steps can I take to support my child's success in this class? Questions we may consider: how can I increase conversations with my child about what he or she is learning in school? How can I help my child understand the content he or she is learning? Parents, we have questions and we want to ensure that we are assisting our children in every way. Let's get down to the root of the questions, and that way we can all together educate our students and produce productive members of society. Thank you.
Parents, if you'd like to have more information about testing dates, when report cards come out, how to get in touch with the counselors, or scholarship information, check out the appendix information on the last slide.